Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Kai Laveo, as you know, I'm a car enthusiast. You can also check me out on the IG if this is too boring for you or too much for you, but we're gonna jump right into it. The buying versus renting argument. Oh my God, we could go on with this all day, right? Why are we even having this discussion? At the end of the day, renting versus buying, everybody's not gonna do the same thing. But see, in today's current society in America, everybody's encouraged. They just have to buy this house. You just have to get a mortgage and get in debt and spend your life savings just to get a mortgage and borrow money. See, here's the thing. You have no credit card debt. You're bragging that you're debt free. Your car's paid off. You never had a car note to begin with and you're 30. You're straight out of college. You spent and wasted all this time getting these useless degrees and you still can't find a decent job that you like. Well, check this out. They're telling you to save up just to qualify for a mortgage with hidden fees. And it's like the mortgage is cheaper than renting an apartment or a house. But the problem is when you're renting, the renter has more leverage versus the owner, or should I say the buyer. Because see, here's the thing you have to consider. Everything is good as an owner until it's not. Like, let's say you need a new roof, plumbing, something's going to have to always be repaired, right? And you're going to have to come up with the extra money to do that. Beside the mortgage, the minimum monthly payment that you pay. Now, if you were the renter, you just reach out to the landlord and they just hire somebody to do whatever work that needs to be needed right away, right? But see, you being the owner, it's on you. And you probably don't have the extra money in your savings for an emergency repair. So if the average American has less than $500 in their savings account, how the hell are you going to afford a set of new tires for your car, let alone an issue, a water heater for your house, HVAC unit? Something's going to go out. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of you don't have the money for it. You're going to have to constantly look for other sources. You're constantly borrowing all this money. You already borrowed money when you put the down payment on the mortgage. You're cool with just making the minimum payment every month. But until something happens, you better have that extra money. Or it's okay, I'll just take out a loan and you'll pay it at some point. But see, here's the thing about the mortgage. These people, the lenders and the realtor, do not care about you. They do not care about you. Their goal is to make a sale, get this sucker into this mortgage. See, here's the thing. What they're doing is they're coming up with all these scams to get people in these homes, whether they can afford it or not. 9 times out of 10, they can't afford it, because if these people could really afford these mortgages and these homes, they wouldn't need to sign up for the program in the first place, right? And see, all these programs really do is put all the additional fees, they're just pushing it back towards the end of the mortgage. And that's why I said hidden fees. Somebody's going to have to pay for it. You don't have the money up front for it, but you could pay for it later or somewhere sneak it in the loan. So let's say you only need 3%, 5%, or you qualify up to $20,000, $30,000 free, quote unquote. It's not free. They're just pushing that fee back at the end of the loan and you end up paying it anyway. So why save up $20,000 to $30,000 when you could just go overseas somewhere and buy you something that you actually like, that's close to the water and has some mountains for way less than what you'll get ripped off with over here? They're telling us to move to the Midwest. I live on the West Coast, and I'll tell you something. I've been in the West Coast soil my whole life, and I'm not going to the Midwest. That's a downgrade for me. See, when I go somewhere, it has to be an upgrade. If it's not an upgrade, then there's no point in me doing it. The Midwest is still mildly affordable. But see, here's the kicker part. Everybody, I live in California, by the way. I live in the East Bay. Everybody was making that move to Stockton, Sacramento, but now even those places are too high now. So the Midwest prices used to be Sacramento and Stockton prices, but that's went up too. And then you're commuting too, or you're working from home, a remote job. And see, if you're working remotely, you can pretty much do your job anywhere in the world as long as you have a stable internet connection. But that's the problem. If you move to another country, you better have a strong internet connection like you did back home in the US. And see, here's the thing. Not everywhere in America has high-speed internet. You have places, especially in the Midwest, there's a lot of places that are still using dial-up 56K modem internet. You know, the slow stuff. You remember back in 2001 when everybody had Napster and it would take 15 to 20 minutes just to download one MP3 file format song. Yes. People are still having to go through that. And if you have slow internet, then you pretty much can't work from home. You better take your ass to the office or find another job. So yeah, being a homeowner, or better yet, being a landlord is not for everybody, especially the landlord part. Because see, being a landlord, it's not what you think, because I even know people that own property and they ended up selling everything just to go back to being rented because they said it was too much of a headache to be a landlord. They only made a few $100 a month off of being a landlord because, you know, you're a landlord, you rent your house out and just to live somewhere else in the city so you can be closer to your job. So being a landlord is not all what it's cracked up to be. We all know it's a headache. It's a big responsibility. You have to worry about squatters. And see, these people have more rights than the owner. That's what's crazy. So you literally can't bust through this door and tell me to get the hell out. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Oh, it's crazy. It's kind of like being an illegal alien. You see how they're getting all these handouts, all these migrants are getting these handouts. It's kind of like the same thing with the squatter or renter. They have more rights than the owner. That's crazy. You thought this was your property until micromanagement told you you couldn't do this and do that. So again, why would I put down $20,000 just for a mortgage when I could take that same $20,000, $30,000 overseas and buy a beach house or something, or a condo or something for a fraction of the cost, and getting it over here for $2 million. Let's say a condo in San Francisco is $2 million facing the water. Well, I could go to Thailand and get that same property for like $50,000. Why pay $2 million for it here when I could pay $40,000 for it over there? And see, this is a single millennial, my view, because I'm almost 40 and I know I don't look like it, but yeah, I'm almost 40. I have no kids, so I could make these kind of decisions. I could say I'm not moving to the Midwest just because it's cheaper. Cheaper doesn't always mean it's better. So you really got to put that into perspective too. Cheaper doesn't always mean better. And let's say I moved from California to OKC, Oklahoma City. What the hell am I going to do out there? There's no money in the Midwest. Not everybody wants to work a factory job. Not everybody wants to work from home. See? Well, I mean, customer service, you could do that at home. You can have a business on the side. But like I said, I could live better off overseas. I could get way more bang for my buck. And depending on where I go, I might have to learn the local language, you know, and just get used to the culture. But then it's like all my family's here. And it's okay. I could just fly back and forth every few months to see how everybody's doing. I can even have them come where I'm going. But this is just perspective. Certain things just don't make sense. Let's just put it that way. I hope you understood the message. This is Kai LaVale. Like I said, check out the IG for the car enthusiast stuff, the car culture and everything. Car culture is not going anywhere, by the way. No, we hyping it up. And I'm not talking about these damn electric cars either. Peace.
Thank you.